Happy Paraphrased Friday. Carissa Danes coming to you from Easy Button Employee Relations. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the top 5 things that I typically see pretty consistently done, either not done at all or done incorrectly within smaller businesses when I sit down and talk to them and go through the audit process with them. So I just kind of wanted to run through these with you guys. The first thing, it has to do with job descriptions. A lot of times I see, there are job descriptions, but the job descriptions maybe haven't been updated or don't accurately reflect what the person is doing. But almost always they're missing the physical requirements. And if there is some physical requirements, it's usually just like a lifting and it's not necessarily all encompassing. And so what I typically recommend employers to do is to look at the physical requirements that workers' compensation actually asks you about whenever there's an injury. So it's like the pushing, pulling, stooping, kneeling, crouching, lifting, standing, walking, those types of things. And I've created a kind of a template that I have them fill out for each job and then put into the job description. So then, of course, you're having that conversation with the employee about not only what the job is, or the applicant about not only what the job is, but what the physical requirements are as well. And so that is something, those are 2 things that I highly encourage you to do within your organization, is have up-to-date job descriptions, and then, of course, include the physical requirements in there, but also have the employees sign off on the job descriptions at some point in the onboarding process, typically early on, or maybe during the performance evaluation if the job description changes for some reason. And the reason that you want to do that is you want to be able to say, I did go over this job description and I did go over these physical requirements with this employee. In fact, they signed off on it. If something were to happen in the future where, maybe someone is saying, well, I didn't know that I had to do that, or I wasn't made aware that I had to do that, or I didn't realize that I needed that physical requirement and able to do this job. And so it really kind of protects you, but it also is a great way to communicate with your employees what your expectations are, what their expectations are, so they also understand what the expectations of the job are. Another thing that I see pretty often within an organization is an inconsistent hiring process. So I'm talking about like how the job is posted, whether each person that's hired has filled out an actual application, or if there's just a consistent process at all. I do hear like, oh, well, this person was a referral from this person, and so they didn't fill out an application at all, or I got these people from Indeed, and so they're kind of like all over the place. And so you just want to make sure that if you are getting candidates from different places, that everybody that you're hiring is going through the same process. So you do want to make sure that you have an application for everyone that is you're at least hiring to create that consistent process. And then also you do want to hang on to any applications or any paperwork like interview scripts or anything like that that was used to make the hiring decision for 1 year. So that's something that you're going to want to hang on to as well. Another thing that I'm really noticing within the organizations are sorry, my neighbor is dirt bikes and he just started them up. So sorry about that. Unclear injury reporting. So I've done a lot of these audits at this point, and whenever I ask, like, does your employee know what to do when they get injured? 9 times out of 10, the answer is either like, I'm not sure, we have a form, or no, they don't. And so that's something that I would definitely consider. I have been doing a lot of emergency binders lately. So not only just for like what the process is, that I create like a workflow for, is the person injured and needs to seek medical attention? Are you unsure? What do you do in that situation? Then also like if it's a near miss, or if you're having customers come into your organization, if a customer gets an injury, what is the process for that? But also like the forms that need to be filled out, as well as the forms that need to be given to the employee while they're going to the hospital. But also things like, what if there's a fire? What if there's a tornado? Those types of situations that come up as well. It's good to have all of that stuff in one place. So I think that summarizes, I guess, what I really wanted to talk about today, because I've been doing quite a few audits and I'm seeing these consistent things every time. So there's no the job description is not up to date. There's no physical requirements in the job. The job description is not being signed. Inconsistencies within the hiring process, and then also inconsistencies within the injury process. So all things that I cover in my audit, and I give you a better idea of what you should and shouldn't be doing, then of course that's something that I can help you with as well. So I hope this is helpful. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay out of trouble out there.